Thank you for being on what I am calling push success sessions, where we talk about
Yes.
the success that you're having in push. And I really appreciate you being here. So just start off and just introduce yourself and how long you've been in real estate.
Okay. So I got my license November 30th. So I think I'm shy away. I think this week will now be 6 months total that I've been in real estate. And then prior to that, I worked in banking, and my last job was cold calling for past 7, 8 months. But yeah, like many new agents, right? It's like, where do I start? What am I doing? This is something completely new to me, and I knew same thing with banking. Like same way I went through intense training, I was like, I have to go through intense training. And even though I have a very strong background in sales, it's you can't, it's sales is great, but you also need to translate that onto real estate. So 4 listings under contract, one another deals under attorney review. The under contract, I'm representing buyer and seller. So again, this is all new to me. And,
Love that.
I have, obviously you're coaching the program in our office. TJ's amazing. Any
Yes,
questions I have, he's there, or you're there. Actually, when I was negotiating my last deal, which were under attorney review for 900K, got accepted, I was reaching out to you and I was like, I don't know, like, how do I, I love negotiating, but I also don't want to lose a deal because it's seller's market. But we did get below asking, which is amazing. But again, just being open to being trainable and coachable and listening to everyone, not just thinking like you know it all, because you don't. You don't. So
well, let me back you up a little bit because I think it's so important that you and I debunk this myth because
yeah.
people get their license and they're all told, hey, you better have money saved up. You're not going to make money in a year as a real estate agent.
Yeah.
And just listening to you, we already know that's not true, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. I
It doesn't work.
I'm a very big believer in, like, you or literally you create your own fate, and all these roadblocks are in your head. But you will
Yes.
have, because I had family, friends, even other realtors in my office were like, you're not going to make money. It's going to take you a year. And I'm like, no, no. So it's
Yeah.
just to show how strong your mindset is. And if you get it in your head, like, no, I'm going to get deals and I'm going to get listings. The same way I told you, I said, I want listings in May. I was sick
Right.
for the first 2 weeks, but then what happened? I called it expired and I got a listing. I got a listing in a building I was farming. So it's your mindset is literally the most important thing, and you got to be able to control it and be like, "Oh, this is what I'm doing, and that's it."
I
So
love that. And when you speak mindset, so talk to me about, like, I run the morning mindset call. We meet twice a
yeah.
week. And so how has being on that call helped you with your mindset and knowing what to focus on and keeping your mind clear?
So it's just amazing hearing again other agents, like, they're hearing their struggles, hearing their wins, and just knowing that you're not by yourself. You're not in this like isolated island, right? Which I feel like for a lot of realtors, like, it's like, what am I doing? And maybe you're not getting the support from your family or friends. So I think it's just a great community for you to vent, and then have a kind ear listen to you and also give you advice, which, again, there's amazing agents on this. There's Orly, there's Sherry, there's Gia that approves. There's just so many. I mean, I can't like think of them all, but
Betty,
Janice,
Enrico, like
Betty, oh
Ira,
my
like
God,
so
Betty,
many great
Ira,
people.
oh, so
Yeah.
many great agents that
Yeah.
they have experience. So I'm gonna tune in and lock in and be like, what are they saying? What are they doing? Because again, you have to be very open to being coachable and trainable, and taking their advice and taking these golden nuggets that they are, giving us. So
And I know you're part of a lot of Facebook real estate groups, so am I. And I'm always amazed when I see agents in there not getting support from their office, from their team leaders, from their coaches. Real estate can seem so lonely at times. And that's one thing I'm building is a community. No matter what company you work for,
yeah,
no matter how long you've been in real estate, there's a place for you here to come plug in and actually learn from other people and also be an example. Because although you're new, there are people who look up to you because of what you've been able to accomplish in such a
yeah,
short period of time. So a high tide raises all the ships. You don't have to have 30 years of experience to contribute to this group because you are contributing mainly based on your actions. You are a
yeah.
doer and people see you implementing, putting in work, and that's huge for a lot of people to be able to see that.
Yeah, I'm in a group now of 35 agents. We're in a home team coaching program with TJ and Fort Lee, and they're like, "Well, how are you getting clients? What are you doing?" Like now they're coming up to, because now they see the activity and they see the
Yes.
results. And I'm just saying, like, go to the coaching program
Right.
and join David's push program, because when you're having these conversations about your commission, how much you should pay the buyer's agent, pricing, Pricing is key. My two sellers, I talked the pricing over with them and I got that from this program. 100% from this program. So I think again, you got to lock in and be trainable, and then you're going to use this when you go out there and now you're negotiating these listings and you're talking about commission splits and everything else. So it's imperative, and I'm telling them now because now they're coming up to me and saying, "Well, how are you getting clients?"
Yeah.
Um, that sorry, I got a call. Just,
No
nah,
worries.
ending of that. Um, then I'm letting them know you have to do this program. You got to train because, and you see, I send you the screenshots. It's
Yeah.
like you got to join because this is the only way you're going to do it. Do
So
well.
you you know I wrote this book, and
Yes.
you talk about my book more than I do, and I so appreciate you for that. You
Yeah.
know, I wrote this book for a couple of reasons. Number one, to challenge myself to do something out of my comfort zone,
Hmm.
but also because I had to learn a lot as a brand new real estate agent, and I didn't have a lot of support. And I just wanted to create like a blueprint that people could easily follow that shows like real estate is something that can be done as long as you understand the basics and the fundamentals.
Yes.
A new agent, would you suggest they read this and get plugged in?
100%. That's something, and again, I posted about it in the school, in the school site because that is a blueprint. It's like, hey, go out there and go do open houses. Go out there and post on social media.
Yeah.
Become the mayor of your town. Get in touch with businesses. You got to get your name out there. You can't be a secret agent. Like, forget about like, oh, I'm too shy. No, you have to call everyone. That is your job. You have to get your name out there. What
Hmm.
is making you different from thousands of other realtors, right? So your book, yeah, that was like number one. That to me was like a Bible. And I love the notes section in the back, and I just wrote these little golden nuggets like your network is your net worth. And like just doing the social media and don't be a secret agent, carry around 5 business cards. And I actually got in the habit of like, okay, I'm gonna make myself talk to them and get their contact info, not just give them my card. So I kind of like changed a little bit there. But
Absolutely.
every new agent should be reading this book. I recommend it highly. And like you and I I think I had reached out to you about seeing the Keller Williams agents that are frustrated and they're not getting the support, they're not getting the help. And I'll always plug you in.
Yeah.
David Randy's push training, read his book,
I
So
appreciate that.
I'm gonna spread the word because I'm not a gatekeeper. I want everyone to succeed, right? There's enough inventory for everyone. So
There's enough business out there for everyone, which is
yeah,
why that's how I became a coach because I just would help everybody. It's like it's enough business. I
yeah.
learned this. Why wouldn't I help you? And then over time, that evolved to Push Academy. Let me take you back. Think about when you first started in real estate. If you could go back and give yourself one piece of advice on your first day based on what you know now, what do you think you would tell yourself when you first started out in real estate?
I should have read your book earlier.
Outside of I love it. Outside of that though, just like how you show up as an
um,
agent, like how what would you tell someone?
as a new agent, I'm gonna tell you there's gonna be a lot of days where you are gonna get frustrated. Those days that you're just like, what am I doing? I don't
Yeah,
have a paycheck. I'm not getting money. You're gonna get frustrated. It's gonna happen. It goes back to your mindset. Your mindset has to be so strong where you're just like, no, I have to get up. Like the same way you have a workout regimen. Doesn't matter if you're tired or you feel like crap. You're still getting up and going to the gym, right? So that discipline has to be there. Because no one's gonna call you and be like, hey, John Smith, you got to get to work. No, it's all here. And this is like the strongest thing. So it's again, it goes back to like mindset and how willing, how bad do you want it? Like the book said.
absolutely. And I see
Yeah.
you because you do a good job. And this is what most agents need to do a better job at. You document, versus create. You document what you do, and I see you get up. I see you at the gym working out. I see you doing real estate and talking about real estate. And I think it's so important because you're not being a secret agent, and people who are following you, they're paying attention to how hard you work, and they're like, when I'm ready, I want an agent like her. I see how hard she's working, how hard you show up and you go hard all day. So how do you keep your mindset? Because you mentioned something, earlier on about real estate feeling very lonely at times. And then I see you connecting with so many people. Do you feel like you're building like this network for yourself of people that support you?
But yeah, absolutely. I mean, your company is everything, right? So I feel, and again, there are going to be a lot of negative naysayers. I already had, and it's weird. It'll be agents, not even like from other companies, right? They're calling me like, oh, your listing is too high. You shouldn't have your face on your business card. I said, well, that got me a client, so I don't know what you're talking about. So again, you're gonna have a lot of I guess I call them fans. I'm not gonna say hate because you're watching me. So obviously
Right.
you're a fan, right?
Right.
And just surround yourself with positive, supportive people that again, I love the pitch community because all the agents there are just like so helpful. They're so positive. They always give just such great energy, and that is so important in real estate. You absolutely need that.
Yeah.
So,
I
yeah,
completely agree with that. And I do a really good job of curating who's in that group. Not
mm,
everyone's a good fit, and there have been
yeah,
times when I've had to, ask people to not be there because it's so important that you surround yourself with the right energy. There's a saying that complaining equals garbage magnet, which means if you're around people talking about the market not being great and things are so bad, if you guys spend time complaining, if you put that same energy into making calls, you have a better business. So we just don't need the negativity. So for me, it's who we have in that group is so important to make sure that we're all talking the same thing, speaking the same language, and supporting each other and lifting each other up.
yeah. No, I think that is key, especially in real estate. And I go back to I don't know if you've ever seen this show called Bar Rescue.
Of course.
And okay, I don't forget
Yeah,
his
of
name. I know he's
course.
John. He's this big guy and he's very boisterous.
But I love them
And
sitting in the car and they got the videos and they're watching. Yeah, I know Bar Rescue.
what does he say? He's like, I'm about solutions, not problems.
Right.
So I go back to that, right? Like I'm gonna stay away from the agent that's complaining. Like I get it, you got to vent, and I understand some agents have done that, and I love that to give a kind ear to them when they are
Yes.
going through something, and that's
Yes.
important. But if you're just sitting on the call and you're just complaining for 20, I'm tuning out. Like I don't have time for it. We have enough negative, energy. Like we got to deal with clients. We got to be the rock and
Yeah.
just be completely calm for them, right? That's the most important thing because we're dealing with emotions, high strung emotions,
Yes,
whether
we
it's
are.
buyer, seller, tenant, landlord. So we have to be the common force. So that's our surrounding.
Well, you mentioned he said I'm about solutions, not problems, and that's us as real estate agents with our clients.
Yeah.
We are finding out what their problems are and then giving them a solution. And when we can do that, that's how we get hired. That's why they choose
Yes.
us when we show them that we have a solution to their problem. So I love that you said that.
Yeah.
Talk to me a little bit about, I know you were in corporate, so when you're in corporate, you have the schedule. Let's call it 9 to 5. Although we all
Mm.
know when you work in corporate, you work a lot more than 9 to 5.
Yes.
So, what's your real estate schedule look like? Do you feel like you have it down where you're time blocking all the right activities, or is that still a work in progress for you? And what's your week look like?
Still a work in progress. I
Okay.
definitely, again, and I just said today I was going to join the war room, right? And I got busy with the listing agent, buyer's agent that called to give me an offer, and I was like, oh shoot. So he's putting in the offer now. Definitely could do better with the time block. I will say that as
Yeah.
far as like just locking that time in because I know how important it is to make these calls. And if I want to get more listings, I
Yeah.
have to make more calls. That's it. That's a no brainer. And I got to tackle it in the morning because if I call them in the afternoon, they already had 30 agents that call them. They're already going to be annoyed to speak to me.
That's
So
right.
this is something that I am aware that I do have to lock in and I'm like just be more cognizant of it because I want more listings and that's the way to get more listings. You got to cold call and you got to do it in the morning.
Yeah,
So
eat the frog, get it out the way.
yes.
And I was in the war room myself today because I have people I need to call, people you recommend I call, and I'm on the phone making those calls and having those conversations. And here's what I'll tell you. Once you get to this point where you're not tied to the outcome and you're just coming with a solution to help people and you're laying it out there, whatever they decide is okay. You just have to get comfortable knowing, hey, this is my job. This is what I need to do first thing in the morning because the rule that I learned early on, Andrea, is taking care of pre-existing business should
Yes.
never take
Yeah.
precedent over finding new business. So yeah, we get caught up sometimes. We get these phone calls coming in. We want to take care of things, but our main goal is lead generation, finding new opportunities. However you do that, it could be for sell by owners, expireds, your database, social media, whatever it is, just getting that out the way first thing in the morning. Because to your point, if you wait until later, they've talked to
Yeah.
so many people, they don't necessarily want to talk to you. So it becomes a harder lift if you wait until later in the day.
100%. No, and I agree 100% with you. I also like, and again, not to make excuses, but it is my first closing tomorrow. And the buyer's calling me, the title person, but you're right. I got to do it, right? Yeah, yeah. The closing
Yes.
tomorrow. So the buyer's calling me, the title people are calling me. they need my commission statement. So I'm just like, oh, okay. And I'm talking to a buyer's agent about a cash offer I'm getting in today. So a little overwhelmed, but you're right. That could wait and just had to lock in and make these calls today. And I'm gonna be better at that. That I'm saying it now. So I'm gonna be better at that.
And with your permission, I will hold you accountable around that so that you
It's
can
fine.
get better at that.
Fine.
So here's something that I believe is a big deal. I believe that real estate can be so difficult at times that we need to start celebrating our wins, big and small. You got a big win tomorrow with your first closing, and
Yeah.
so I'm curious to know, what do you plan to do for you to celebrate your first closing? Do you have something that will become a ritual or something you want to do for yourself to celebrate?
Oh, it's so funny. I didn't even think of that because I have to run to an inspection after that on my other listing, on my listing. So, I didn't think of that. I didn't even think of doing something to celebrate that.
You
That
should.
didn't even cross my mind. Okay.
For me, I would take my family out to dinner after every closing, but for myself, I'm a scotch drinker, so I would always go buy a nice bottle of scotch and build my library based on my closings. So it gave me something to look forward to, like, oh, I want that, I want to try that. And every closing, I would go and fill up my bar cart. That was my thing.
Night. Maybe I'll have a glass of champagne, eat some oysters.
That could be your ritual. Like, go to your favorite place, get some oysters, get a nice, glass of Vouv,
Yeah.
and
My
cheers
favorite
yourself
champagne.
and pat yourself on the back.
Yeah. So maybe that's what I'll do tomorrow. Yeah.
And maybe treat yourself. Vouv has a version called Rich. I don't know if you've had it. Vouv Clicquot
I
Rich.
love Vouv. I haven't had it yet, but I love
Look for that
Vouv.
bottle, and if you can get it, try something different.
Okay, yeah, that's my favorite champagne brand actually. So yes,
Okay.
it is.
Okay.
All right,
So let me
I'll do
ask
that.
you this. Selfishly, I want to ask you this because I recognize that I'm not the perfect coach. Push Academy is not the perfect program.
Mhm.
I am growing. It's growing. It's getting better every day. What would you tell me I should work on to be a better coach for the agents that really need my help? What do I need to do a better job at? And I know I'm putting you on the spot here, but I
Yeah,
would love to know to help me grow and get better.
I would say, and I think I mentioned it today, the same way you called me out in the bull training.
Yeah,
um Call people out, like, hey,
yeah,
you said you were going to make this many calls. Where's that? Because I think if there's that accountability in there, that's like, oh shoot, because yes, we're paying for the program, but I think when you hold people accountable, they're more like, oh my god, I have to do it. Like, when you said, okay, Andrea's the rookie of the year, I was like, I gotta do it. Like, that's it, here's, I'm the rookie of the year, so I gotta like produce. So people don't want to let other people down, right? So it's so weird. We cannot keep a promise to ourselves, but we don't want to let someone else down. So I
yeah,
think the accountability aspect, I would just say that, where you're holding more people to the fire, I guess, and being like, all right, did you call this many people? How many appointments did you get?
yeah.
But I think that's the only thing I don't think you need to like improve any other area at all. And again, I didn't like being called out, but I got called out. That's it. Like, it's just like, okay, you got to do the work. You're paying
And I
me.
feel like I have to call you out because when I said I'm claiming that you are going to be the rookie of the year, I meant that because, like Orly was saying, Orly said, she can tell in like the first 3 months if someone's going to make it in real estate or not. I knew pretty quickly. I was like, yeah, like you and Cherry and some other people I'm paying attention to. I'm like, they got it. They are intentional about what they're doing every single day. And it's so easy to get distracted because there's not a lot of accountability in real estate.
Yeah.
And if you don't do the work, you don't get fired, you just don't make money.
Yeah.
So the accountability is huge. So I will take what you said to me and I will run with that because I know that is only going to help people. It's going to make them uncomfortable in the beginning, but it
Yeah.
really helps them if they're committed to their goals.
100%. Like, to me, I was like, oh shoot, he's calling me out, but you're right.
Yeah.
So you're right. That's it. At the end of the day, it's like, you're right. That's what they're paying for the program. So
I think a lot of brand new agents are going to be listening to this podcast and some of the videos that I'll chop up and turn into like short form content. If there's like a new agent like listening and they're struggling and they're thinking about giving up on real estate because they're not having the success they want to have, outside of what you've already said, like reading the book, like what would you tell them they need to do to really lock in right now?
one, go to the office.
Yeah,
There's energy in the office. There's agents in the office. You can ask for open houses. Like, let me shadow you if you've never done an open house. That's very big. don't sit at home. Business is not going to come to you. No one's going to call you. You literally got to go out there and get there. And change your perspective where you were always prospecting, whether you're going to I'm big in branding. I didn't mention that. So branding, which you told me to do.
Yeah.
You mentioned that in the book as well. KW, do marketing where you're wearing a hat, you're wearing a shirt.
Hmm.
So you're not walking around with the name badge, which realtors do, by the way, which is great.
Yeah.
But you are always constantly branding and you're talking to everyone. Because if they're not looking to buy or sell, great. They know someone that is.
Yeah.
So just and smile. Don't walk around with a dog face. Like you gotta like you gotta get business. Remember, you're in sales.
Yes,
So
you are.
I would walk, just and you're not walking around with a smile all day, but you're just being kind, and lead with love. Like just
And be approachable.
be
It's someone
approachable.
told
Yeah.
me in college they didn't approach me because I always walked around like Ice Cube. I have this mean scowl on my face, but I'm the nicest guy. And so when they told me that, I purposely would smile when I saw people. I had to be intentional about it because the way I was showing up, people didn't feel like they could come say hello. It's
Yeah,
a
and you're tall. I mean, you're a presence. I met you at KW Family Reunion. I was like, wow, this is Dave Randy.
yeah, I'm a big boy. I'm a big boy. But everything you're saying is absolutely correct. And
Yeah.
you can't be a secret agent. You have to show up. You have to be willing to put yourself out
Yes.
there. So you mentioned that coaching is a non-negotiable for agent success. Why do you feel that way?
Again, because you're entering a different field. And I have an extensive sales background. I've worked retail, banking. This is different. This is a whole different animal. So
Yeah,
even though you do know sales, now you have to translate this into real estate.
right.
And to me, I don't think I would have the success I have now if it wasn't for your coaching program, because I wouldn't be able to lock in that conversation about the commission, about the price, dealing with tenants, dealing with landlords, because I have rental listings as well. So this is so imperative for you to succeed. People need to do the coach training program. I
Yes.
highly recommend it. You can't wing this. Either you're going to work harder, you're going to work smarter. So
Yeah.
I'm very big into working smarter. Why make my life more difficult?
I
You know.
love that. I love that.
Yeah.
With my coaching, because I have this passion for helping newer agents, and I know that there are tons of coaches that offer coaching for 1,000 a month and $2,000, and I do have those programs too, where you can lock in with me for a long period of time and coach. But when I started the Push Academy and my Push Premium program, people thought I was crazy doing that at $49 a month because of how much I offer. And sometimes I wonder if people think it can't be real because it's so inexpensive. Like, and so what would be the messaging that you think I need to share with people to get them to see, like, it's not about the money for me, it's about me helping you. You just need to have a little skin in the game. That's what I want people to have because when they have skin in the game, they show up differently. But I need them to understand, although it's 49, it's $1,000 program with anybody else.
Yeah.
And I don't know how I need to message that to get people to understand it, but I'm not looking to get rich off of one agent. I want to help agents go out and get rich. That's my whole thing that I want to do.
Yeah. I mean, I think your price is amazing. If it was 100, I'd pay it, to be honest. So, but I understand what you're doing. Like your thing's more like, I want to help people. I mean, and I don't know if you saw, well, no, I sent you the screenshot. Like, here's a text message, like, it's only $49, only $49. And I get that pricing mentality because it's like, okay, it's not 50, it's $49, right?
Yeah.
But your pricing is amazing. And again, because there's agents that are transitioning from full time to this,
Yes.
or they're not working, they're taking this all, and they're looking at every money spent because, again, it did take me 6 months, but I feel like had I locked into your book earlier, had I done the program earlier, I would have been more successful earlier. But it took me a little while. But once I locked in, I was locked in. So I feel like just spend the $49. You're investing in yourself. How could you
That's
not even look at that?
that part. I
You
think
know?
people look at it as an expense, no matter what the price is. You really are investing in yourself. I have coaches. I invest in myself because I don't know it all. I need people to help me as well. So you have to be willing to make an investment. So normally I would ask you who should take push and go into training with me. I'm gonna flip a little bit and ask you who shouldn't, who should not go into my training program. I know that's a twist, but I figured I'd
Yeah.
just throw you off a little bit here.
Who shouldn't? I mean, I don't care if you're like $1 million agent. There's always that aspect where you can learn something. So again,
Right.
I'm so big into like constantly evolving and
Yeah.
educating yourself. And you don't know it all. You might think you know it all. And I think that's where you stop growing is that stunt where you think you have all the answers. And I don't care if you've been in real estate 20, 30 years, there's always something new to learn. You
Yes.
always want to hear new agents. What are they doing? Because like Gary Vee said, the agents that are not posting on social media, you're going to be replaced by a younger person who's on social media. So again, if that's not your thing, you could listen to someone that's doing it, like, oh, get ideas from them. So
Yes.
it's the mindset. If you're not adaptable, then fine, don't take push training. But if you want to make money and succeed, I don't care if you've been in the business 20 years, 30 years, you should 100% be in this program.
I love that you said that, and it reminds me, we're going back about 4 years ago, and I was, talking about my training program, and someone said, well, they don't need your program. They've been doing this for years. And I talked to the agent. I'm like, well, here's what I do. And they're like, well, I already know how to call and prospect. I already know how to do my listing presentation. So I sat back and I said, well, tell me, what is your average commission that you get when you take a listing? And they were like, five. And I was like, oh, okay. You know, the average for my agents? And they were like, what? I was like, six. And they were like, really? I'm like, six. I said, trust me, go through this training, and I guarantee you, you'll be making more money. You know, now they get 6%. Well, it's a little different now with commission, but they're getting the higher side of commission now on every deal because they went through push and they learned how to know their value, how to articulate their value, how to push back when someone gave them an objection around paying commission. They started to understand how to have the questions and the objection handlers to push past that. And now they're making more money. So doing the same business, but making more money off of that business.
Absolutely. I met Duffy, by the way. He praises you. He's like, I don't do anything less than six. So he's one
Listen,
of your he's one
Duffy's
of your
my guy,
peoples.
man. I was talking to Keith the other day, and we were just, he's like you. Like when he locks in, he locks in, and
Yeah,
that's the thing that I really just want to kind of wrap up by saying, um, what I appreciate about you is the way you lock in and how intentional you are. And when you say, "Hey, I'm going to go do this," you go do it. You
yeah,
treat this like it's your business because it's your business.
absolutely.
And if you don't go out and work as hard, you're not going to have the business that you're having. You got a closing tomorrow. You got offers you're accepting. You've double sided one of your listings. I mean, let's go through it for me. So you got four listings. You're having a closing tomorrow. You're
Yes.
working with how many active buyers right now?
Five.
And you've had your license this past 6 months.
It'll be 6 months at the end of this month. Yes.
That's really
Yeah.
unheard of. That's really unheard
Yeah.
of. What that's telling everybody who's listening is that they too can do it, but they have to do what you were willing to do,
A
which is put
hundred
the work
percent.
in and show
Put the
up.
work in. Yes.
And you'll even say you're not even as locked in as you need to be. So imagine when
No.
you fully
Oh,
lock
I
in,
can't
like
wait.
when you fully lock in, what you're
I
gonna be
can't
doing.
wait. I can't wait.
Well,
Yeah.
here's what I can't wait to do. I can't wait to celebrate you and have you back on when you cap. I can't wait to celebrate, have you back on when you become rookie of the year, right? So this is not going to be your first and last time on here. I plan to continue celebrating you and all your
Oh,
milestones
thank
because
you.
it's huge. And I love you give me purpose. Agents like you who are coachable and implement the work. I wake up in the morning wanting to work harder to help you guys have wins faster. So I need
Yeah.
that energy. That's a win for me seeing you win. So I hope you know that. So keep
Oh,
going
thank
because
you.
you keep me going. I hope you know that.
Thanks. No, no. Listen, I appreciate it, and again, just appreciate you so much because yeah, I can tell you, you already know I push your program and your book hard, man. I'm like, listen, you don't know what you're doing, you don't know it all. Just listen to him. Just listen to him. That's it,
I
and
appreciate
jump on
that.
the calls.
What's one thing I haven't asked you that you wish I would ask you for this interview? Is there anything I didn't cover that you love to bring up or touch on?
Um. Oh, I think just, and I go back to mindset, having a healthy coping skill for a lot of new agents. You gotta get something to clear your head and help you with this career
Yeah.
because you're dealing with so many emotions. I think I spoke about it one time. Mental health is very important.
Yes.
And we talked about having a good support system, but doing something for yourself. I don't care if it's, you said your thing is photography, right? With the birds. Whether it's walking, exercising, meditating, just something that you're doing for yourself to be able to deal with this job, because this job is stressful, but
Yes.
it's how you're responding to it. So I think that's really key. You need a good coping mechanism, good with life.
I don't disagree with you, and that's why I'm working on my second book, The 137,
Oh,
because
nice.
it's not just for agents, it's for anyone. It's just about learning how to put yourself first and knowing that you need some time to unplug and recharge and how to do it with intention. I've been doing it for a number of years, so anyone who knows me, if it's Monday, they know David's outside with his camera taking pictures, and
Mm,
that's as an introvert, that's how I recharge. And I think it's so important to have something to deal with the stress and the busyness of real
yeah.
estate so that you can unwind and unplug. I think it's huge.
Yeah, definitely. Even for like new agents that don't have business, you need a good coping skill. You
Yeah,
really
you
do
do.
need right now. It's important. That's key.
Yeah. What's your coping skill,
So
if you don't mind me asking?
working out.
Okay.
Working
Yeah,
out.
that's step for you. You
That's
doing your thing.
it's torture. I call it the demon, but like like the book, Eat the Frog, just get it out of the way. Get it. I get up, I have black coffee, no sugar, no milk, double shot, and I hit the gym and I'm on the stairs and I
Good for
work
you.
out. And that's my okay, now I could tackle the world on. So
Yeah,
yeah,
you can.
that's
Well,
big.
let me say this as we wrap up. Keep doing what you're doing. I'm extremely proud of you.
Oh,
Thank you for being a leader in our group. Thank you for being a great example in the tribe and showing people that with intention you can be a successful real estate agent and you don't have to wait a year until you get your
no.
first deal. That myth is busted now.
Yes.
So keep showing up, keep pushing, right? That's the thing. I want you to keep pushing. So I appreciate you giving me your time today. I know you're really busy, and congratulations to you on all your success.
Thank you, David. I appreciate you so much too.
Andrea, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here.